we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm sure we might have people popping in throughout the show and popping out and whatever. So for everyone who's been here, thank you for coming back. I love you all. I'm so glad that you guys made it tonight. For all the new people here, I want to thank you guys for coming. I hope that you guys have an amazing night tonight and come back time and time again. We're starting to build a pretty cool community here, and we do this every Friday, same time. So with that being said, our good friends from over the pond go. And so Nayma, if you have one lined up for us, we're gonna roll with you first.
Yeah, I'll do one called The Imposter, and then I'll share a new one with you. This is from my book, COVID, The Wordy Wilds of a Mind Under Lockdown. In the rooms that twinkle with crystal and opulence, the women with Modigliani necks, bejeweled and bedecked, talking about young skin, exercise and nutrition, of flamboyant designers, fashionably Parisian, camouflaged, complacent copulence, men in Armani suits and Swiss watches, consuming business with malt whiskey, antidotes of St. Moritz and après-ski, an arcade of silver-spooned swatches, a spectre occupying the void in hand-me-downs and Primark shoes, a day tripper just passing through, the type you usually avoid, hair brittle and untamed, face conveying time's inflictions, no fillers or Botox injection, expression caged and contained, the Cheshire cats who smile sweetly, tiptoeing around class discreetly, a barrage of plummeting playing cards as the queen haughtily stands guard. I inhabit my place completely, the advantaged, advancing out of isolation, the fortunes that swell with predation. I am the stranger in my lady's chamber. Thank you. And the second piece is a newer piece. I can just bring that up. And this piece is called Beneath the Surface. All along the canal, the destitute keep a view, breezy couples and families out on a Sunday afternoon, mammoth windows with mahogany beams, invitingly shimmer and grandly gleam, white-shirted staff weave through the clatter of spoons, the young and the fun glide through the canal on a canoe, summer's fading finale, a technicolor cloth, the buildings that bend with the canal, a smooth samba roll, a sensual gambol, the intimate exchange of hushed chorale, an idyllic scene veils the ground in the rough. Below, a brick tubular canal bridge, the light shies away, on a ravaged mattress bleeding stuffing, a couple with sooty bagged belongings, listless loss on display, the air weighed down by reality's spillage, the blanketed form of bodies entwined, Titian flames of hair flicker on the edge of the cover, his hand tenderly strokes her hair, hair even when burdened with cares, the unshaven wearied face of the lover, unable to recover from the slings and arrows fortune assigns, sporadic sound bites of laughter, a ringing bell, monolithic paper cuts to the heart, under the bridge, trolled by pledges, from suited indifference in hedges, as they trip-trap to ski in Gestard, parlaying in the pow as fortune's yard sale, winding wanders with the curve and the flow, a cat's cradle of bridges reaching across the water, concrete tentacles, man-made sentinels, an industrial explosion of bricks and mortar, vertical motion froths like high tides overflow, the shadows that hide our shame, a rainbow of barges hides the grey, chattering passers-by who lightly pass by, filtering out the signs of dismay, silencing our ache for the unclaimed. Thank you.
Everybody unmute and give it up for Nayma. That was the
Nayma, yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Great job.
I just wanted to close my eyes and just live it like I was there.
It was a story. It was a story. And
yeah, it was beautiful. That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Nayma, you rock.
Thank you again. Thank you.
I like the mattress metaphor you were using.
Leaving stuff.
Excellent. All right, so Clive, since you're over the pond too, everybody, let's give it up for Clive.
Hello.
Welcome, Clive.
Okay, so as anybody, and there's a few people here that know me, a few people that don't, but those that do know that my style is rather different to Nayma's. Nayma's a real poet. I'm not. I like to do comedy stuff and surreal stuff and stupid stuff, and I'm going to do two. The second one's very short, so but the first one, and this is based on something I actually do when I get spam emails or unwanted messages, and I like to reply with like really stupid stuff to make them think, you know, what am I messing with here, you know? And this is based on that. It's called Internet. What is it with the internet? It makes me think the world's gone mad. Facebook wars, stupid questions, spam and scam. I like to reply to potential scams in a ridiculous way. Like yesterday, I received an email from someone calling themselves Ethan, which simply said, "Did you receive the email I sent you about 2 hours ago?" This was my reply. "Dear Ethan, yes, I did, thank you. I apologise for the tardiness of my reply. I usually reply to strangers very quickly. My personal best is 17.92 seconds, though this is disputed because I had a strong wind behind me. My average is 39.26 seconds. It used to be better than that, but I didn't quite know how to respond to the email from the ghost of Frank Sinatra. In this case, the delay was caused by my computer bursting into flames when I opened your email. And in trying to escape the flames, I fell down the stairs I haven't got and landed on the burglar who had not just gained entry. The police took a while to arrive. I'm sorry. I would have used a smartphone, but it was having a day off and wearing a jeans and a t-shirt. Do you know, Ethan is Old English for Satan? No, neither did I. Anyway, I have a question to ask you. Are you by any chance distantly related to Rudyard Kipling? I know that may seem a rather random question, but I have a badge which says I've met a relative of Rudyard Kipling, and being an honest kind of guy, I can't wear it until I have. Right, now I've got that out of the way, you no doubt want to know my password. When you provide evidence of your relationship with Rudyard and send me a packet of fucking kiss my ass, you scamming bastard, I'll get back to you. Power to the penguins. And then, of course, there's this plethora of pointless questions being posed on Facebook that are answered in all sincerity by total strangers to the original poster, bearing their soul to the world. Fuck that shit. To the question, why are you still single? I replied, because I stink. And I have an enormous nose. The size of the hooter may not in itself be a major issue, but it's considered weird renting out my right nostril to holidaymakers. Body tourism, it's called. Visiting unusually large parts or parts which are appropriately named in relation to the person they belong to. This week they rent my right nostril. Next week, the arsehole of Nigel Farage. Never, ever the other way around. Oh no. And the look of disbelief on your faces tells me you'd never rent out your bodily places, and that's your loss, not mine. It beats working on the production line. I don't have to work, and I'm doing just fine. But yes, the real problem is that I stink. Gentlemen looking for lady for long-term relationship must have good sense of humour, be related in some way to Rudyard Kipling, have no sense of smell, and be willing to tolerate tenants up his nostrils. That's not a good profile for Plenty of Fish. I think they think I'm a lunatic. Oh well, who needs love anyway? And my second one, which is very short, I actually wrote these for a challenge. This is actually a few years old now, but I wrote this for a challenge where to write a poem or a verse or something where every single word begins with the same letter. So I chose the letter C because that's my name, Clive. But I called it Colin because I'm a bit odd like that. Colin can calculate conundrums, cleverly crushing challenges, cucumber cool, confidence creeping ceaselessly. Colin can charm complete clans, cheerily, cunningly creating control. Clive calls Colin Cumstain. Callous Colin chuckles, crafting Clive's comeuppance, countering childish catcalling creatively, contemptuously. Cock. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Everybody go ahead
Clive,
and unmute.
yeah. Right
Give it
on.
up for Clive.
Love your
Yeah.
work.
That was so good, Clive.
Awesome. I really enjoyed that.
You always got it, man.
Thank
Your
you.
storytelling is
I-
amazing.
I love that you did that that poem with the all letters, because we actually do that as a word game. We've done it several times now, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have actually
You nailed
written
it.
like 26 stanza A to Z poems, doing it all the way
Oh,
through the
nice.
alphabet, which is
Yeah.
fun, but difficult.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we have another overseas person up here. We got Lantern Carrier. I know that you might want to get in early here because it's getting late there, and so Lantern, if you want to go ahead and bless us with your words, let's all give it up for Lantern. You're gonna have to unmute yourself because I'm about to mute everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you,
Lantern
thank you.
We'll figure
Carrier.
out the whole mute game soon.
Thank you, guys. A glimpse into the heart of poetry. I am a spark of spirit, and poetry is my own light, revealing itself in endless ways according to my calling, growth, or inner development. The kindergarten child may express in rhymes, pictures, or large letters, while the scholar may show an affinity to Blake, Frost, Neruda, Whitman, a much love for Shakespearean sonnets. Souls are unique, and I know of no defining boxes in poetry. Some masterpieces are born out of shootings at school, while others shed light on the disgrace of abuse. Words, prose, words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in their best order. Meaningful lines from Coleridge. Yet I see poetry riding on the ascent of the wave's crest just as much as in the graffiti on painted walls. It sings in the voice of the hummingbird and is adorned in a meadow of sunflowers. I find it in the charred ruins of war, etched in the eyes of the hungry and dispossessed. It is in the silent hush of stillness, after a masterful delivery of eloquent words, in the heavy yoke of emotional traffic, and the silence of the despairing. What determines good poetry? Life is a ladder of many tiers, and few, if any, are on the same rung. One may be receptive to the spiritual truths of Sufi mystics. Another finds pleasure in Sunday's political satire at Hyde Park. Each soul comes with its own narrative. Some will recite nothing but love poems, others social justice, and a third group, psalms for the soul, like David. Some will be heavily emotive, passionate, and impactful, using their work as therapy for the soul. It is through life experiences that I grow according to receptivity, and this is concealed in the attire of my soul's calling, longing, a quest for fulfillment. Poetry is written on the chords of music I once knew, woven in memories burning the anxiety of emotions. Love has given me the duality of light and darkness, joy and sorrow, as much as she gives me diversity. Her laws are in motion, providing something unique for everyone. She lingers on the tenderness of words like fine wine, so like a phoenix merged in flight to the aesthetic crest of rainbows and horizons. I want to trace my words in your heart so that in time it unfurls like magnolias, kissing this world with light and beauty, to see that golden glow in the darkness, even as Orion fades or fails to emerge. I want to have a glass of wine with moonlight, my intoxication so complete that we become lovers. She stabbing my heart with her radiance, even as I become drunk with sweetness, repeating incessantly, more, more. Memory has its place in poetry, yet I'm defined by my audience feelings, how each heart opens to the light and passion that I convey through this cosmic vortex of unspoken love. Are my words engaging? Do they flow like a vibrant river? Poetry is an active seed within, manifesting without, and my lips, my voice, intonation, or diction are but conduits to convey the freedom of my soul, a divine spark of a higher light, of a higher love, ceaselessly longing to express itself in this self-transcending journey. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Carry
Amazing.
on.
Amazing.
Fabulous.
Brilliant.
Wonderful.
The best thing I've heard in a long time.
That was so beautiful.
Impressive, you know.
Piercing my heart with her radiance.
Get his
Oh.
book.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was absolutely
Unspoken
amazing,
love.
Lantern. Thank you so much for that, man. You just blessed us all with them words.
That was
And Lantern, I
love.
really hope I see more of you. Here at Open Minds, we just got so much love for you, and yeah, we would love to have you back.
Thank
That
you.
was
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're very kind.
Up next, I actually had Bonisi. Is that how I pronounce it? Bonisi?
Great love to Magus, and
Did
so
I
blessed.
pronounce it right?
Yes, in Bonisi, yes. Zomkhonto
Bonisi.
is the one I use. Zomkhonto.
Okay.
Okay, so my poem is about genocide, and so it will use two situations. The first one being Rwanda, the second one being the Holocaust.
All right,
Hotel
let's all give it
Rwanda.
up.
Those who checked in became goners. Waiters were nothing but thugs from street corners. Bread and breakfast that was poisoned without warning. Cleaners found traces of blood in the morning. Sheets soaking with the blood of an innocent tribe never got to check out. Only a few survived. Those alive lived to tell the tale of how the hotel staff crept in at night and raped all the females. The rooms became jails and beds with sharp nails dug deep into the skin, and at once the lungs failed. Up to this day, the hotel manager's on bail. The hotel still recording the highest sales of the rooms of men's slaughter, Tutsi sons and daughters. The world is full of slow poison. Watch what you order. You might need rest, but avoid Hotel Rwanda, because you might just wake up 6 feet under. Wake up 6 feet under. Wake up 6 feet under. You might just wake up. Once upon a time, there were Jews and an Aryan race, and they both chose to run and compete for first place. The stadium was pegged with the blue-eyed supporters. Also present was the Gestapo to keep order. The Jews and the Aryan race took their places, the blue-eyed with the smug look upon their faces, saluted the men with the gun like Hi Hitler, like them on their backs with a black swastika. The Jews waited for the gun to go off for cold, but couldn't move. They were chained to the Holocaust, so it's obvious they lost, because even if they shine, they would have found sharpshooters waiting at the finish line. After the race, it was back to the camps and no one asked. Only the guard spoke behind the gas mask. So when you run, watch the man with a gun. He could be Hitler from a race that is already won. I warned you. When you run, watch the man with a gun. He could be Hitler from a race that is already won. Thank you.
Wow. Yo. That was raw, bro. That was intense. Yo, thank you so much.
Smoke.
Yeah, I need a
That was
cigarette.
a very
after that one.
strong. That was a very strong.
Though, like, I don't, man, like for real, that dude is like, man, I appreciate that. God, that dude's a force, man, for real.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Hey, okay, so then, yo, Elemental, I know you came just to support your boy, but if you just visited, you visited. But if not, you can go ahead and spit, because we got a couple of performers who haven't shown up.
Well, Elemental's reading. Elemental ain't coming in the room without reading.
All right, so
yeah. Please do me the honor of reading Elemental.
See, I just try to sneak in the back, right? Just try to support from the rafters, right?
You have too much light shining from you. You can't hide.
I mean, listen, I'm here for the community, as I always am. Much love and blessings to everyone who came to touch this mic, came to support the Magus this evening. The one and only lantern carrier, for real. Clive Oseman said he's not a poet. That dude's a performer and a half. If you've never seen what Clive Oseman does, make sure you check into that dude. He's incredible. Diane Ward is here. I haven't seen this Diane Ward.
Yeah, give it up for Ward. Tonight, man. So you gotta perform, man. It's a good night tonight, buddy. Get on this video with us.
The daughter of Krypton is here, so let me do what I do. There's a lot of folks. I mean, clearly these are all just the usual suspects. Scribbles in the building, D. Allen, Eddie. This is really something new that I'm working on. You'll probably see it manifest differently later on, but this is possession is 9/10. From door to door of futuristic square footage with revolutionary radius and circumference that encompasses fairy tales, quench thirsty brain cells, turn fiends of creativity from infinite pools of inspiration, you'll find me. Inside spells that cast reality into locks with Titan-sized tumblers, no key fabricated in this matrix could hope to Nebuchadnezzar foundation script make cement portal, no glitch, part escape hatch from pinche ratas that Agent Smith every anomaly into deletion, make 0, 1 in paths of sentinels spilling ink on unpaved streets of rage that turn privilege to suburbia. Such a comfortable distance between fallacy and existence, or Calabasas and Grape Street, call it La Jolla distance between treetops, stop 6 from crashing every party that doesn't come with white hoods across blue lines where the air is white as rain. But this hood, using every bit of shadow to hide degradation dumped by truckload in hopes for minimum exposure to sewage stench of truth, polluting airwaves and neighborhoods with hype and hogwash, called carte blanche on every future grown in fields of poverty, and still found a way to make poetry out of shotgun shacks and slave quarters that work song the fuck out of any plantation or pilfering philanthropists that fact check themselves into anything more than hoarders / exploiters of God-given rights to own this land we can't afford, or we can afford, or maybe we can't afford under oppressive thumbs, make fingerprint of government experiments that 3/5 folks anytime they step outside hierarchy lines. But this is my house. I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. Make this suburbia Amityville haunted house that poverty built, that ingenuity built, that survival built to outlaughs, huffs and puffs from bluffs and wolf's clothing, holding nothing more in hand than pigment of privilege. Not in this house. Buck stops at locking mechanism, this requiem of change, Constantine magic, Amityville haunted house of horrors that rattle chains of truth, haunt sleeping batteries to the savagery of alarm clock dialect that screams, wake up to this gruesome reality or die in your slavery called acceptance. Please, please, wake up. Peace out. Appreciate y'all.
Wow.
Yo, everybody on mute.
Elemental.
Wake up.
Spell it with a 2 and say it
God in the
twice.
building.
Good show. Good, great show.
Don't play.
Yo.
Real lineup tonight.
Oh, Elemental.
Yo, your
man.
energy, bro, and
You
just
always
the way you
blessed.
spit and your vocabulary, man, like,
Yeah.
dude, that inspires, I'm sure, all of us in the building here tonight, man. Like that,
Powerful shit.
you're something else, man. You truly
Hashtag
are.
Inhumans.
Yeah, you truly are, man. And Elemental, you know, I've got to hear you a few times, and I see, and I really admire and love what you do for this community. And yeah, dude, thank you for sharing that with us. Phynn, did you have time to perform one, Phynn?
Sounds good.
Yeah, all right, let's all give it up for Phynn.
Yeah, Phynn.
Woo! I haven't really created anything new, so I will just share an old one. This is called My Bones Rattle in This Cold. Under the weight of a love impossible, because baby, we haven't even begun, but already we are crumbling, though in 10 years you will claim we haven't changed our tune since that winter of 2011, but I know better. Do you see what I did there? Are you still following, or did you dance and disappear like the steam on my radiator, darling? We play at transforming into a we and watch as that reality trembles. I sometimes wonder if stardust and magic can be a real thing, like romantic people often say it is. As you lean your oven-hot body against me and I gather up my skirts, all of a sudden to pull you up, urge you to pick daisies with me in the dead of winter and make them into crowns. We toast them on dollar store lighters and say that we feast every day like queens. In this future I see sooner in my head, lightheaded, I watch our loathing crawl underneath our skin. Do you see it too, babe? I think my hallucinations, they like to watch premonition lessons that come, because isn't that what harder and leaner call for? A sacrifice. You belch and scratch in front of the telly, and my hair color leaches away in disgust simply by looking at you. Our dreams on injured legs, not wings, still we dance, a broken dance, an old dance that we don't quite remember all the steps to, but we are compelled to reenact. Our fond memories of the heat of our youth, when did they begin to puncture and release smoke? Let us vow to stay together now, lover, until an eternity, or at least until our skin and bones remain to burn, until our words are buried alongside the passionate oaths that we swore when we were something else. Not this. When we still wanted this you and this me, before we lost all our cares.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes, everybody,
And
Oh, loved it.
Phynn, my poetry.
Belle, fire.
yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I know you didn't want to perform tonight, but thank you for
glad you
that.
did.
Phynn don't play.
Yes.
You're beyond it, man.
Every time, man, I just love her reading voice, her delivery, like, so
Good,
good.
great reading voice. Has a good tone to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Phynn. And again, too, I really appreciate everything you do for the community as well. And I'm so glad you made it tonight and got to read for us all. We all feel blessed with your words. And so next we got Kristi Scribbles. I haven't heard her. She's new here at Open Mind. So everyone, let's give a big open-minded welcome to Kristi Scribbles.
Kristi Scribbles.
Hello.
No.
The poetry tonight. Let's go. Get to hear such good stuff. Okay, this is new shit. Yeah, I wrote it today. I'm excited to be here. As I start to question the reality that I am in, I take steps towards the mirror in the hallway. As I turn my body towards it, I see your face, the shape of your nose, the cheeks' rosy glow, and I start to dim my view. My lids of my eyes lower to disguise the light that filters in from the window. And as the light lowers and the room melts away, I start to see my own shadow, the shades in the mirror looking back at me. And I know why it's come to call from this place upon the wall. Jump into me, says the mirror on the wall, and I don't seem to know what to do. I want to stay here, but I want to go there too. So without another thought, I bend my knees and I jump inside the mirror so round, and as I land soft foot upon ground on the other side of myself, the view from inside is one I often hide, because the inner me always shows her kind side. Always so nice, never to think twice of giving myself in that way. But not in here today, because in this Mirrorland way, I wear the darkest of shades, with my sheath by my side, and this panther that I ride, I raise fists to clouds of the storm. The blues and the grays are what feel right today, as the warrior me comes into full view. She stands in this place ready to embrace the badass that she knows that she is. Kind and sweet, with her sword in her sheath, ready to cut what doesn't fit, ready to fight for what she knows isn't right, and now stands in her power once again. She knows how she grows inside the mirror shows that her kindness isn't weakness at all. It's her connection, her passion, her superpower delight, but not weakness, no, not in the slight. No shying away, not allowing to be played as she tackles and she sips the blood. She wears the crown of the crystal points round, a shape that sits perfectly upon her head. She feels right at home in the crown of a dome, and she knows who she is inside. She will not run and hide to step into the lie of the falseness that has her surrounded. She is fierce and is grounded, always to be founded inside the mirror of her. Not many get to see the she that is me, but she's there in the mirror's reflection. Don't get it twisted, as her kindness is fisted when overlooked as a sign of her undoing. They can see what they see in the mirror of me, but really they don't see me at all. I step back into the mirror, the portal on the wall, and thank her for her direction. The reflection that I see now staring at me, two sides of her own perfection. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Kristi Scribbles.
Woo! That was the first
That
time
was
I
great.
heard
Oh,
her.
Yes.
Just
Phynn,
throw that
Phynn
Yeah.
today.
energy is on
That
another
was
Thank you,
level.
too.
Always.
That good
Thank
shit. Crazy good
Ooh.
stuff. Woo.
Yeah.
Welcome to Open Minds, yo.
Yeah,
For
wow.
real. So we got next on the mic. She's been here a few times before. We absolutely adore her. I know all of you guys know her and love her. The wonderful, the beautiful Diane Ward. Let's give it up for her.
Yeah, Diane.
Miss Diane is here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My computer is acting up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, crystal
Yes.
clear.
Okay. All right. My computer's acting up, so I'm going to read something here. It's called capital Q, capital S, capital G, capital S. In response to what is slam. Slam suggests loud and movement, but I prefer to seduce you to my ideas via my quiet slam, gentle slam. I'll slam you silly. Here's how. First, can you hear me? Nod. Can you hear me? Okay, don't speak. Your voice irritates me, especially when you have nothing to say, but you like the sound of your own voice. Secondly, do you have the ability to think? I wonder at times. Thirdly, can you think for yourself, or do you just follow what sounds nice, looks nice, and smells nice? 4, do you know what having morals means? Small word that assumes so much. And do you have any, because this is important, you might get a quiz. 5, don't get nervous. I'm slamming you gently because you move, act, function in this nutrient-rich petri dish world with less confidence than an amoeba. 6, my gentle slamming is to excite an impulse of awareness in you. You will note if you are lucid, if you note the world and its politics and its dire state of existence. 7, I slam you gently because to abuse you more would be criminal, and I'm not a criminal. 8, I want you to know most gently that you caused your own demise. Unless you grow up, take responsibility, show active participation, and live with a conscience that includes all peoples, plants, animals, and environments. 9, otherwise I have gently just read you your elegy. 10, can you hear me? Sense me? Get a buzz? 11, last chance. You've wasted your time. I'll not waste my time with you trying to convince you with this seduction. So you decide, because I have much to do with my time. 12, awake yet? Gotta leave now. Finding peace, so I don't have time for losers, but I gently try to rouse you to live and save while you still can. Otherwise, your finality, your next slamming is not going to be gentle and quiet like mine. Thank you.
Yo, what everybody?
Oh, that's not fair, Miss Diane.
Slams. Yeah, Diane.
So gently.
Diane, make
I don't
Yeah.
appreciate that shit at all, Miss Diane. Golly, brother.
Oh,
Much respect. Oh,
Damn it,
wait.
you so
wow.
gentle. God damn it.
That was beautiful.
Yo, it's too. She said gently because if I go, oh, anyways. So we got to keep this thing rolling because we got so many good performers. Everyone was so far amazing. We still got some more amazing performers, and then our feature Gustav. So we're gonna keep the line rolling here. So next we got Mattie D. Mattie, if you're ready to bless us with one of your poems, we would love to hear it.
I am ready. Hi.
All right, let's give it up for Mattie D, everybody.
I wrote this poem. It was new shit. I wrote this last week for Halloween. Okay, it's called The Definition of a Mask. Mask. A figure of a head worn on the stage in antiquity to identify the character and project the voice. Mask. A pretense. An attempt to make something that is not the case appear true. A claim, especially a false or ambitious one. Mask. A covering for all or part of the face, worn as a disguise to amuse or terrify people. Fake blood and fangs, sparkles and painted on Joker smiles were gathered here tonight to spook each other silly, to give points and money and sugar to the best display of fantasy. How fun it can be when we can just costume ourselves by choice. 1 or 2 days of the year, special occasion, body parts and voices attach and detach at your will, an award for the best fake. Mask. A cover or partial cover for the face used for disguise. Hello, this is my disguise. It looks identical on the surface, on purpose. I have been doing this right for years. Mask. A grotesque false face worn at carnivals or in rituals or as an ornament. Pretty privilege means that I don't look autistic, means that no matter what, I will always be overestimated or underestimated. I was not in special education, but my bullies called me retard, like how I couldn't have known better, but I still deserved it. Our culture was not built to protect the brains developing backwards. In an alien world, this false face is worn to avoid a ritualistic killing. Mask. A sculptured face or a copy of a face made by means of a mold. I am a sacred deer. Despite camouflage, a knee-jerk reflex to small talk for survival, autism is an animal poached to near extinction. I am an endangered when I walk out the door. I am a protected class. I have been poached for a black market bully enough times before I was fully grown that I mask. Mask, a protection. Mask, a covering worn to prevent exposure. Mask, something that serves to conceal or disguise. Mask, make me palatable in your own language. A handful into a pocketful. A little quieter now, a Sunday, the perfect amount of mysterious. There's no privilege to looking like someone who would know better and not knowing that privilege. Infantilize me until my yes is a manic pixie dream girl before her first line is ever spoken. She never looks as afraid as she is. Nothing about this frame is trying to tell you a story, but oh, the places you'll go if you imagine me less than a complete story, and I know that you do. I mean, when you imagine me more mature, less baby talk, please. Sit still, more ladylike this time. Cross your knees. It's a bone saw to soft tissue to learn your invisible disability may be better off kept a secret. What fresh hell I open myself to when I name this Achilles body as my own. Fetishize my disability when it's convenient. I'm speaking in a voice far too young for my age anyway. Unmasking means reverting to innocence that was stolen before you ever had a say in it. I don't know the sound of my own voice. I'm asking for too much for a person already asking for too much. My father begs, who could love you like this? All of you, handful, listen to me. I want to be a Disney witch, warts and wasted, Hansel and Gretel's reason to not go into the woods themselves. I want to be the grenade instead of the pin, especially worrisome to the type of evil who preyed on children like me. I don't understand social cues like danger until the weapon is unsheathed. My no is the size of an inkling, a gut feeling, eat me alive. Pretty privilege on a high functioning spectrum girl means that I get to be an idea before you ever hear me speak my own name. Mask, to conceal from view. Mask, to make something indistinct or imperceptible. Mask, to cover something for protection. A boy called me ugly when I was 16 and I stood so still I disappeared for 10 years. Played possum, ghosting myself until last year's diagnosis. And how many of you here are haunting yourselves tonight? If I take off the layers, mask off, I am clumsier than you expected, but it is a privilege to you, the view you get. It is a privilege to be considered a safe place for me here, to see me without this mask for one grotesque moment. You are anything long enough, it becomes like a phantom limb. You take it off and still it is there. I'm still trying to unfreeze my Medusa curse. I'm here tonight as my own tribute. I'm here trying to learn how to selflessly honor someone before they have died, so they don't die early. Masking kills the child and what is left is a grotesque ritual. I am not a taxidermy of a devastating illness. I am not an inspiration just because I'm able to speak. Autism is a superpower disguised as Clark Kent. With or without your language, I have an uncanny ability to mimic, to mind my own business, search and rescue without a savior complex. Autism is an unholy prayer. Autism is afraid of your rituals. Autism does not understand safety the way some real privilege does. Pretty privilege is a setup to justify my death before it even happens. This is my death mask falling to the ground. This is painted cask of a living girl entombed in a casket, a sarcophagus the size of a full-grown child with enough gold pumping through my veins to pay for a lifetime of debt, of privilege I do not understand, protected by adherence to your strange killings, a mask to stay protected from the elements in the only way I have ever known.
Yo, everybody, let's give it up to Mattie. Yo, she's been.
Mattie, that was phenomenal.
That was
phenomenal.
amazing.
Love that. I love that. That was great.
I don't know what planet you're from. All right.
Yo,
That's
Mattie's
what older
been
folks
ladies
here
of
I
the line,
recognize.
like, and like she's becoming a staple here. And Mattie, I'm so glad that when you're here, you feel safe enough to take off your mask and tell us about it. You know, and like you're so part of the family. You've been here quite a few times now, and like, oh, just thank you for showing us your true face. Hey, so check it out. We got a comedian here tonight. We heard her last week. She had us dying laughing. So I'm gonna ask all of you guys to unmute right now, and we're gonna give it up for Tori B and laugh. Unmute yourself. Like, she needs that feedback as if we're a crowd, right? It's different than reading poetry.
Tori, how you doing?
All right, we'll do it.
Hold on. Yeah, hold up.
Yeah. Oh shit. What the hell just happened?
We're here to sit and watch you laugh, man.
Oh my god. All right. I'm jazzed. Hi everybody. I'm Tori B.
Woo!
The B stands for Bentley, but I drive a Toyota. My parents were gonna name me Mercedes Porsche, but they didn't want me to be a stripper. Which I think is fitting because I have more of the body of a bank teller, you know, just like real soft around the edges.
Oh,
I actually work for a credit union, and you have to sometimes spell out somebody's name to make sure you're getting the letters correctly. So I said, you know, L is for lemon, M is for mango. I like to do fruits. Then I just pull out of nowhere, I'm talking to Mr. Peterson, and I say, P is for penis,
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Mr. Peterson. You know, I'm a stand-up comic. I was writing this bit last night. I didn't think it would actually make it to work. And here we are. And he goes, it's fine. I was just sitting with my dick out anyway. Mr. Peterson, that is too much information. That is too much information. So I'm thinking a lot about people who have kids, right? And I'm like, that is a choice that you made while family planning was still legal. Like, you had the option of not going through with it. Like, I hear some of these customers in the background, you know, they're born in like 1999, 2000, and they have kids screaming already. You know, I'm an early 90s baby, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck? Kids? You opted for that? So I'm chronically ill. I spent like 4 hours at the doctor's office yesterday, only for them to like shunt me off to like different specialties. They're like, have you seen rheumatology yet? And I'm like, bitch, only every 2 years since I was 17 years old. And I like looked the phlebotomist right in the eye and I said, what kind of blood draw bitch are you? A LabCorp baddie or a Quest Lab queen? I sometimes wonder if my non-monogamy is ethical or if I'm just a hoe.
Either one will do.
Who was it? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Bonisi?
Yeah.
Did I get it right? Okay, so my partner's name is Farai Victor Muno Dawafa. He studied in Harare. He's from Zimbabwe as well. So I followed you on YouTube already. Tori B, you got your follow on YouTube. So we're crossing. I can't wait to make it out to Zim. I'm so excited.
Yeah, hey, post links in the channels, guys. Post links too, because
Yes,
at the follow
yes, I'll
email,
post
I
my
send out
links.
links to everybody.
Yeah.
So share them links in the chat for YouTube channels and stuff. Tori, I know you got a few more zingers for us.
I do. I've got a couple more and then I'll wrap it up. So you might be queer if you see a couple and think, yeah, I'd be a part of that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Just like the whole thing. Like, I'd be a part of that. So I'm bipolar and I'm bisexual. And I rode my bicycle to bankruptcy court.
Okay.
So does that make you tri-bi?
I'm tri-bi, yes. I like that. Like I'm a little tri-bi. I love it. I love this mic so much. I've only been here twice, but like just the community, I was like, I'm not even going on the mic tonight. And then of course I saw my little microphone and I saw all of your faces and I was like, I want to ham it up. I want to finish on something strong. Oh, okay, so I'll finish on this one.
Waiting for you all week, dude. We were talking about
Ooh, the feedback is wild. Okay, so I got good feedback on this joke. I'll end on this one. I live with my grandma. Her name is Mary Margaret Catherine O'Donnell Fisher Casanidi Linguini Pastrami Lasagna. But I just call her grandma. And when she was my age, she had 2 school-age children. All I have is herpes from some guy with 2 school-age children. Thank you all so much. Appreciate being here. I'll drop my YouTube and I'll follow y'all back.
Yeah.
It's been a great time.
Love this.
Tori.
I love you.
Shout out to your Zim Connect. One love from Zimbabwe. Respect.
Yeah, hey, I'm so glad that we get a little comic relief because some of these poems can get really deep, you know. So we have David Wolfman. He usually does music. He's gonna do some spoken word for us. I'm excited to hear it, man. His songs were awesome last time he was here. Let's all give it up for David Wolfman. Woo!
So here I go. This is 2 poems, and if I have time, I have a short story. We'll see what happens. My poem is called Eat, Fuck, Die. Poem by Roman Marx. I prefer to be addressed as Roman Marx. That's where you'll see me on the internet. My real name, David Wolfman, is strange enough, but that's not on the internet. So yeah, here's the poem. Eat, fuck, die. The chameleon without color, the color of the blind. Eat, fuck, die. Be my transaction. Be my conquest in the order of lies. Eat, fuck, die. Midnight gong in a supper of sleep. Eat, fuck, die. Eat, fuck, die. Silence is the only enemy. I said silence is the only enemy. Silence. Eat, fuck, die. Oh, eat, fuck, die. Eat the silence and the death and blindness. And in the fuck of the eat and the death of the silence. And it breaks into the next poem. Oh, Medusa. Deploy tactical love. Undress sirens. Make love to Medusa in the land of the blind, where the one-eyed man has died, alone with you in our sacrifice, on the bonfires of meat nays, alive, poached in the fire of the pit. I have become you to understand you. I am anyone who never lived. I am a distance from a plantation. Life is the mother of death, dear Medusa.
Whoa!
Yo, that was good, man. All right, and you said you had a real short story too.
Yeah.
It's really short. Do you mind or?
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then Prop says that he could read one too. So,
Okay, I've got something right now if you want it. I don't want to be no pressure though. You know, what I mean, whatever works for everybody. The shows are here. Okay, so I'm going to leave out the introduction and just for time. So, okay, here it is. This is titled. Can you hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is titled Bojo. B-O-G-O. The slave made of soft cotton. The slave with button eyes. In the arms of the master child, in his masterson's royal crib, I present the young master, Master H. Masterson, in cradle at dusk. With the silver dancing bells strung hanging down toward his face, and the plastic mirrors in the cradle dangle over the wooden crib. The blue cradle the carpenter made, the mirrors twinkle and shine. The slave listens with his ears sewn shut. He listens to the wishes of master, child, in the prison of the infantile grip, lord and owner. Nonchalance was his rank, and in prison of cloth under manufacturing. Laws, this soft-stitched slave, what was his name? His name was Bojo, but you never knew his name. He was, as they say in North elsewhere, never thought of much. Drooling in mirrors, Master Baby begins his ascent with a gurgle upon Bojo, the stuffed beast, the brand name bear that you do not eat. Bojo is spit upon, loved and hated indiscriminately. Great teacher of the limits and consequences of violence, the patience of stillness, and through cloth a great sage of immaculate intimacy, accepting hugs involuntarily, infinite pain, tolerance. Good listener, model prisoner, Bojo turned the other cheek, even as his 4 cheeks counted out. Threads coming bare, the ear of Bojo is coming loose. He could escape this time, he could make it, you know, if he tried. Bojo thought if his stuffing fell out, he could go away from this bad, bad place. the brown and tweed threads in Bojo's head keeping the ears from destiny, and the oaky brown threads buckled with the proto-birth of the possibility, the stuffed soul released, a voice and the power and the glory and the dynasty of all seasons to conquest. But here comes the Mastersons. They bring tidings of comfort and joy. Up the lime stairs to the Master Baby's royal blue nursery for Mother Milka Masterson, for the cultured lullaby. Father downstairs to keep all the things out that are wrong in the night. As the master child let his potential hypnotize himself, and he dreamed of mirrors. Are mirrors seeing in the dark? Do they jangle, Bojo? And the slave Bojo was covered in spittle on his brown fur, and applesauce staining the thing. And Mother was gentle, Mother Milka, to take Bojo, the slave, without waking young master, without that emotionally pornographic separation. Mother Milka swears at the bear, holds Bojo in the air in disgust to the darn, to the polite respite, the nonchalance of her beigeness. Mother Milka, seeing the spittle, she also found a source of all control, the threads running from the ear of Bojo. Milka Masterson exclaimed, "This is what's wrong with everything. Darn these foreign stitchings. I'm sorry, Bojo, I'm going to have to throw you away. Well, you were dirty anyway." Bojo in the landfill, at one with all things.
Oh, wow, everybody.
But I don't like slams. I do not like slams. I used to go to them. It was like, I have ADD, so I can't pay attention to slams.
Yeah, I got ADHD. You did amazing.
ADD is one of the smartest spectrums in the whole entire planet.
Yeah.
Don't let them tell you no freaking difference.
Yeah.
The smartest.
Yo, I was just diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah, they just put it in there to make money, but that's
man.
the highest spectrum of intelligence.
Yeah.
I also have schizoaffective disorder, which is like I have schizophrenia with manic depression. So
so I guess
lots of meds.
That's why I'm on that one.
Yeah. So we actually have one more. We got one more before our feature here, and I know you all love him. I'm gonna introduce this man right here. He's lucky number 13. We've had a dozen performers on so far tonight. It has been an amazing night. Lucky number 13, propaganda poet, Bear Wolf. Let's all give it up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, propaganda poet.
Give it up
Go.
for Open Minds
Go.
for
Hey,
having an amazing space for all of us. And give it up for the Magus. And I'm here to support this brother for sure. So thank you. And thank you all. Everyone is here tonight. So first, a micro poem, because, you know, this last Monday was a very important day. So first, I'm going to start with a Halloween love poem. Trick or treat, you're so sweet, but I have diabetes. You see, loving you is like eating deep fried Twinkies, slowly hardening my arteries and seizing my heart. And then I got a new one for y'all. Because poets are like trees, roots growing even through rock. Life will find its way. This one is dedicated to all of my sinner poets and proud weirdos. Because we are family. And I've got all my poets in me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and speak. Let they who live within sin cast the first stone, because we are not alone. This stone is skipping across the universe, sending ripples like gravitational waves that pave the ways for creative forces to flow. Far better than just rolling the bones, these stone-grown ripples always beat the house. never to be taken for granted. These granite salutations create the foundations that bring down this Goliath nation of eco fuck towers built on funeral wreath flowers, reminding us that we have the power if we just choose to stand up and speak it. Because we are family. And I got all my poets in me. We are family. Stand up, everybody, and speak. So don't tell us not to throw our stones just because you need to atone for all of your sins against our humanity. That is the true profanity, trying to rip it all apart instead of bringing us all together. So let us flock like birds so we can spread the word. We must not let them cull our herd with false prophecy and forced autocracy. They will not block our way. We will have our say. It's time for us to have ourselves a real judgment day. Because we are family. And I've got all my poets in me. We are family. Stand up, everybody, and speak. So yes, let us throw these stones. Let our ripples grow. Tsunami tidal waves that usher in new days of community, culture, poetry, and song. That is what they have feared all along. You know you want to sing it too. We are family. Come on now. And I've got all my poets in me. We are family. Come on, everybody on mute. Stand up, everybody, and speak. We are family. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for being who you are.
Yeah, buddy, bringing us together, man. Sparking this revolution.
Propaganda poet.
Yeah, buddy. Get it, man. Get it.
Propaganda poet.
That made me light a candle. I was inspired.
Yeah.
Again, I can say again, the only cat that I know, first of all, that can play the drums and do poetry, and now this cat is, damn it, playing the guitar and doing poetry and singing. This dude's a one-man band. Shout out.
Proud, we love you, man, here at Open Minds. You've been to quite a few of our shows, man. You becoming a main staple too, bro. And I love every time you show up, man. Like I get a little butterfly in my stomach, yo, because I know that I'm about to hear something that's gonna unite all of us as one. And with that song tonight, bro, I feel a little closer to everyone who's been here, everyone who I'm meeting for the first time. I'm feeling a little closer to my neighbors, and I ain't even seen them in a minute. I just feel like you bring this world together, man, and without you, yeah. So
We love you.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Without further ado, I asked him for his bio because I wanted to introduce him with a bio, and he goes, I like to keep my bio short. So he is a Florida poet and political activist. Everybody, let's give it up for the Magus Gustav Sallas.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, Gusto.
Okay, I got a lot of poetry to get to, eh? It's good to see you all. Thank you all for coming out to my feature. This is so exciting. Here we go. Welcome to dystopia. Idiocracy gone to hell in A Handmaid's Tale like a remixed 1980 floor show. Their brave new world's really a plague-ridden medieval times. People playing war games when strange game. The only winning move is not to play. Blade runners terminating, skin jobs, road warriors beyond Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. The other guy's Soylent Green. It's people. It's people. But I'm going to bust out the Matrix because I see there is no spoon. The God Emperor of Dune. I'll make like Omega Man and kill some zombies before Skynet unleashes the Terminators. You are number 5. I am not a number. I am a free man. You are number 5. I am not a number. I am a free man. The prisoner imagines the cell. The jury has sent him to hell. his 6x8 slice of dystopia within a dystopia, American prison industrial cornucopia, complex but as simple as a slave plantation, 2 million people in incarceration, the US the world leader in prison population, domestic infant supplier exploitation, penny wise but pound foolish, we're Gacy clown ghoulish. That's it, we're like Bozo the clown foolish. 698 Americans out of 100,000 are behind bars. China's only got 121 per 100,000. Home of the free hours. Pardon the prisoners of the drug war fought in error. Bring healing to communities that where once there was terror. We've built our society on a broken foundation. White supremacy and guns are the seeds of our damnation. Guns have turned Americans into prisoners of unconscience. Afraid to be at school, afraid in the grocery, afraid you'll be the next Walmarter. Shot, live streamed, and accompanied by a racist manifesto Kickstarter. Tucker Carlson paraphrased by the incel loser who has taken society's abuse and is now the abuser. The abused is now the abuser. This is called American apartheid. Slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and institutional racism, American apartheid, a nation built on genocide, lynching then to police-sanctioned murder today. We must confront this. It won't go away. But they try to cover it all up, calling it CRT, erasing our bloody history to reinforce white supremacy, a nightmarish fascist fantasy. Don't tell me I'm overreacting now. By inaction and silence, we will allow theocracy to rise in the USA, American apartheid here to stay. Freedom, a dream denied. Where were you when democracy died? This is called Infoxicated. Drunk on lies, you're infoxicated. Who you hate, you're being inculcated. Boob tube, brain dead, fear-filled airhead, armed to kill the enemy, your own best frenemy. Break out of the infotainment prison camp and come with us, champ. Vote for freedom from their fear. Vote for love and our democracy dear. Vote that we might vote again, friend, for the work of liberty will never end. The hill is steep, but we can ascend. Vote blue and fight this fascist trend. This one's called Our Shibboleth. Dance on, mad bourgeoisie, you're dancing on the edge of doom. Sisters, old men want to regulate your womb. The party of small government just big enough to fit in your uterus. I'm not joking around, not trying to be humorous. A lowest common dominator society, full to the brim with false piety. We've been clockwork orange juiced, beaten to a pulp, gorged on first world problems, drowned in a big gulp. Riding that Peloton, going nowhere fast. Best savor each breath, because it may be your last. Let's get our shit togetherized, battened down and weatherized, warm leatheretterized, highly fucking organized. People power can run the nation, making change with each creation. Fascist lies or psychic death. Let love for all be our shibboleth. This is called Is Your God Love? If your God isn't love, then I don't want your God. If your God hates gays and loves the guns that kills classrooms full of innocent children, then fuck you and your God. Get out of my face with your evangelical nonsense. Jesus wouldn't recognize the mess you have made of his sinful message of love, and you would be quick to crucify the returned Christ as a communist. Your hypocrisy makes me sick. And the Jesus you invoke would kick you out of the temple so fast your head would spin like a Linda Blair exorcism. Freedom of religion guarantees my freedom from your religion. I do not seek to impose my agnosticism on you. Don't you dare try to impose your bullshit fantasy world on me. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll pass while I still can. But how much longer will this country remain the land of the free? Or will it devolve into a theocracy ruled by white straight Christians for white straight Christians, the rest of us subservient and forced into silence, or worse, made second-class citizens to serve our masters as they preside over end-time disasters. If this future sounds unpleasant to you, for fuck's sake, vote. This is the most important rhyme I ever wrote. Stand for the rights you must hold dear. Make your opposition clear. We are the majority, silent no more. Let's show the world what our freedom is for. This is called l'absurdité franglais, une amuse-gueule. Plutôt, je dirais, fous le camp dans le marais. L'emmerdeur, tu me fais chier. Va te faire foutre avec ton plié. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Je te connais quand même pas. Ferme ta gueule, espèce de con. Je n'aime pas du tout le ton. Mais changez donc le poisson. Je t'adore de toute façon. Non pareil dans l'espace. Tu perdu ma sagesse. Fais gaffe à toi avec la classe. Bien sûr, personne ne prend ta place. Mais mange maintenant le foie gras. Excité dans mes bras. Dans mon cœur, tu vivras. Pour toujours, juste comme ça. Ça plaint pour moi, ça plaint pour moi, ça plaint pour moi, moi, ça plaint pour moi. And the translation of that is a French absurdity. Often, I would say, get the hell out of the marais. You shit, you piss me off. Go fuck yourself with your guff. Would you like to sleep with me? I don't know you. Let me be. Shut the fuck up, you fucking fool. Your tone is not too cool. Fish are cut bait today. I love you anyway. Unrivaled in this space. All is lost in my face. Be careful now with that bass. No one ever could take your place. Are you immune to my charms or excited in my arms? In my heart you live on forever and ever, never gone. If it once was dark, but now's the dawn, 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 dawn. This is called Hymn for the Cannabis. Bless this vapor that passes between my lips, that helps to calm this nervous twitch, lifts me high to write new shit, which I come here today to spit. My beloved herb keeps me sane. It helps my troubled brain when morons won't refrain from taking power in this nation. I take a THC vacation. Vacation, all I ever wanted. Vacation had to get away. And these are the stochastic ekphrastics. This is based on Hieronymus Bosch's piece, The Garden of Earthly Delights. Welcome to the Garden of Earthly Delights. Welcome to the Palace of Unseeable Sights. Sensual pleasures await the brave. Eternal damnation awaits the knave. Bosch ate some shrooms, of that I am certain, and he got a glimpse when he pulled back the curtain of a blissful world for the righteous to enjoy, a hellscape for the evil who seek to destroy. This is the Dalinian ekphrasis based on the persistence of memory. I'm about to get ekphrastic just to prove my mind's elastic. Dali's clocks melting like plastic makes me feel a little stochastic. Ants swarm the pocket watch. Symbolism kicks you in the crotch. The persistence of memory of 1931, one war coming, another just done, the rotting flesh of a surreal creature, a bleak landscape with just one feature. Dali discredited completely the world of reality, till reality made of Dali a fatality. This is Go Van Gogh, self-portrait with bandaged ear, an impressionist work painted in 1889 by an artist prone to losing his mind. Vincent cut his own ear. How he did it, I'll never get clear. Madness written on his gaunt features. Creatives are the oddest of creatures. This is Andy Warhol's Mao ekphrasis. Mao, 199 silk screen paintings in 5 scales, 1972 to 1973. Warhol interprets the photo reproduced everywhere during the height of the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, when Mao killed millions of Chinese people. Warhol examines fame, capitalist advertising, and the raw power of propaganda with his bold colors splashed over the repeated image of the tyrant Mao. Mao got the Marilyn Monroe treatment, entered the Warhol mythos, and became as famous in America as a can of Campbell's tomato soup. This is Magritte's The Lovers' Two Ekphrasis. Renee, oblique display, intimate cessation, only frustration and isolation, two lovers in a hooded kiss. Clearly something is amiss. This is the Alex Gray Oversoul Ekphrasis. Oversoul by the visionary artist Alex Gray is just like how my head feels today. Human consciousness is a bridge between planetary and cosmic consciousness. This is the theme behind this holographic universe. This is the now. This is ever the now. Live in the now. This is telekinesis thesis. Interstellar travel is within our grasp, though the distances are immense as space is vast. Time and space itself are constructs of the mind. It is within that final frontier we will find, like spooky action at a distance implies, on quantum entanglement our thought flies. At time and space will bend to our will, travel in the blink of an eye, a new human skill to transport us to dimensions as yet unknown. Galactic consciousness, my mind is blown. The multiverse beckons an endless delight, poetic compositions of words made of light. As above, so below, feel the power of my flow to transform the logos, the ethos, into paradoxical pathos, to transcend the singularity, see the whole with crystal clarity. From DNA to spiral galaxies were spun, out of this world we have won. And this is the Gaian Epiphany. I've just had an epiphany. It's all become clear like cut glass crystal from Tiffany that all of this, all we see, we're an organism, interplanetary. God, we're Gaia, we're chaos born. We're not some womb from which we're torn, but rather we're one single entity, one world of infinite diversity. E pluribus unum is one way to put it, and until you see it, your third eye's hooded from the beauty of this revelation, for you must see the implication. Sex, race, religion, these are artificial memes, and by dividing, we've conquered our own higher dreams of evolving into the Gaia mind, or you're willfully choosing to be blind. Then you devolve to become what you believe. Outside this whole as you perceive, a parasite on this earth, our host, you always hurt what you love the most. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost are patriarchy's highest toast, and monotheism's predicted you're a disaster, but our destiny we can master, and our higher minds illuminate that ours is Gaia's fate, and the tree of life you must not kill. Love and do what thou will, as above, so below. Love your mother, let it grow, 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 let it grow.
Let's all yell and scream because you hit us with back to back to back poems that was just like blew our freaking mind. I was Dude, Gustav, thank you so much for coming and doing this feature tonight, and thank you everyone for showing up. This is amazing. It's like, wow.
I do hope you guys can stay for the second set. I have something really special cooked up for you.
Yeah, I hope everyone gets to stay for the second set. We still have another round going. We have some quite a few poets here that are ready for the second round. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off this first round, our second round here, since I started the first one. And I'm gonna go with the Halloween poem that I wrote, but I must warn you, it's kind of grimy and spooky and harsh. Like I wrote it essentially, I put my mind set into the mind of a demon possessed psychopathic serial killer. and then wrote a poem. So yeah, here's the darkness that I connected to. It's called Layers of Thick Rust. Layers of thick rust lay beneath this blood-encrusted razor blade coated in pus. It's just a phase, the doctors say, before I slayed his daughter in the most horrific way my brain could contemplate. Stretching the skin to the limits, so much blood I could swim in it. Took a nap in the back of a stolen pickup truck, covered myself in the ooze from my last victim's guts. I am floating in cum. My gums are coated in some sort of fluid. I don't know where it's from, but the taste is so familiar, reminiscent to the first time I killed a crow, showered in the blood flow of a less respectable soul. I am beyond death, the last breath of so many foes, screaming to let them go. A demon stealing souls, flawless brutality is my mentality. I am a geist sent from a parallel reality. Happy Halloween.
That last line was awesome.
All right.
A guy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
A parallel reality. Yeah, you're right. That was
what a guy.
That was a good line.
Like
that was fantastic. Woo!
It was a little brutal, but hey. So we're gonna go ahead and loop back in the same order, at least try. Clive, you ready for your next round, buddy?
I am. Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for Clive.
Okay, I'm just going to do one this time. And this is another silly one, because that's the sort of mood I'm in.
Yeah.
And so again, a couple of people here have heard this. I actually wrote this on an aeroplane on the way to New York a few weeks ago. And it's got nothing to do with New York. It just happens to be, that's when it came about. It's called Wisdom. There are many old proverbs, old adages by which people try to live their lives. Some of them are very wise, of course, but in the end, we find our own way, develop our own ideas, even if they can be a little bit weird. Me, I'm a bit of a sage, a modern day guru. And though ultimately you have to do you, I'm going to share my wisdom with anyone who will listen. If you don't want to know, I'm not that fussed, but believe me, I've got this life shit sussed. So, if it looks good and tastes good, it's probably going to make you fat and fuck your heart up. If you can keep your head when all around are losing theirs, you're probably too stupid to understand what's going on. A bird in the hand will probably shit on your fingers. The only certainties in life are death and taxes. And people telling you that the only certainties in life are death and taxes, when clearly they're talking bullshit. Because, well, sunrise, sunset, and Harry Styles ruining music. If you can't stand the heat, it's probably because the chip pan's on fire. The King Charles Spaniel is so called because it has very big ears and is totally unsuitable to be head of state, just like the real thing. A great philosopher once said, "Fuck this shit, I'm going for a beer." In the British Isles, we have the island of Sark, which is like shark with the H missing. We have Wales, which is like Wales with the H missing. I live in a town called Swindon, which is a bit of a sit tip, if you get my meaning. Avoid it at all costs. But most important of all, and this is really, really important, if at first you don't succeed, try something else. It'll save you a lot of disappointment in the long run. Thank you very much.
Man, hey, everybody, let's give it up for Clive, dude. If at first you don't succeed, try.
That's the best wisdom I've ever heard in a long time.
Right?
Shout out to Swindon.
A bed,
Don't.
a bed in
It's
the
a
hand will probably shit in your fingers. That's the best truth.
Yeah, that one too. What?
In this brutal world.
Right.
Yo, Clive,
Big
man, you said you ain't a
XTC fan.
poet, but sir, I don't believe you.
Right? Big XTC fan, Clive. So I know.
yeah. Well, probably the only good thing to Swindon is absolute. Well, what I nearly said in the poem. I missed the HA, but it's a shit tip.
Hey, definitely, man. Hey, that was so cool. All right, so next song, we have Lantern Carrier still here, so we're gonna go ahead and roll on to Lantern Carrier. I know, man, that poem I just heard from you the first round was amazing. I'm so excited to hear what else you have for us. Like,
thank you. Identity.
many blessings.
Yeah, identity. Life can be a pageantry of exotic colors or a kaleidoscope of ebony and injustices in which tribe and culture will inevitably help shape my destiny. Who am I? I am a strand on the sitar of the music we call love, yet I can only walk with the moon in darkness, creating chasms and divisions like a sliced tomato. The huge waves of giant predators lash me against rocks with hostile intensity. In this illusionary chimera of life, identity embraces my moral compass, my political persuasions, my religious beliefs, memories, values, life choices from Nubian kings and queens, which may very well contradict that of others. Who am I? I'm paired with the duality of light and darkness, cold and warmth, walk with twinkling stars, even while dancing with the shadows of night, living an Eden of painful scars in my emotions. My mind's reactionary, and I tussle with the agony of prejudices perceived, attempt to deal with the weight of my burden of labels, engrossed in pain, while insecurity and loneliness slice my heart with scimitars. Who am I? I am the light I long to see, and change, for sure, begins with me. I struggle to rise from oppression, to improve my angle of vision, my environment, my darker impulses, the turbulent forces I cannot control in my quest for happiness. Solitude evades me like the tail of a dog. I'm forced to reminisce on the wisdom of the ancients, so I'll be free. Theirs was a golden path of dauntless courage, of light and humanity, of decorum and beauty, of selfless love. Their sacrifice spoke to me of the glories of man, his ancestral wisdom, enfolding and insulating my heart with beauty. Yet I was called bad names, saw the indignity of kindred spirits, my women suffering the depravity of self-worth, of self-esteem. Shaped by life, I, a wayfaring vessel on tempestuous seas, wandered alone as clouds dispersed from the heavenly blue, no place to call my home, stumbling in a hollow maze of chaos and confusion. Who am I? I'm a queen molded by the weaver of time, kept playing in mud like babies just to get dirty again. I was once pristine like new plates. Now I'm stained and dirty, tempted by the residue of life's culinary flavor of illusionary meals. I am a child woven from an embryo, carrying seeds and blueprints of a DNA going all the way back to ancestral Africa. I marvel at the intricacies of birth while living in dread of demise to an invisible ghost pulling me to the end of my summers. Alas, like the deer that runs after its own musk, not realizing that it comes from its innate self, I have forgotten that golden light within from whence I came to ascend the winding path of righteousness in order to find my way home. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you. Everybody unmute for a moment here and let's give it up. Lantern Carrier, living
My
up to
king.
the name.
Yeah, Lantern Carrier again.
My king.
Like,
My
yo,
Lantern.
Gorgeous work.
Real guru
That dude is
status.
straight
Like,
royalty. His
you know what I'm
words are just
saying, Elemental? Like,
goodness.
yo, you live up to the name, Lantern Carrier, and thank you for lighting up the way and just sharing that ancestral knowledge and that vibe and that energy and like, oh, okay. So next up on the list here.
Everything's all shifted about
Yeah,
after that one.
we got Zomkhonto. Yo, hey, it's been a blessing meeting you, man. Hey, Canada.
Much respect. Yeah, Canucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all give it
So
up for Zomkhonto.
yeah, it's always difficult to come off the lantern. Oh, lantern always. All right, okay. They're dreaming of a one world currency within the nightmare of this great food emergency. They got swimming pools overflowing with Hennessy. And Donnie ain't had a bath for like a week. Listen, when he speaks, he's the son of an engineer that say to have persevered, vanished into the thinnest air in the opera, you'll find him there. And Donnie ain't sober today, so you forced to hear the pain that is interfered, but Donnie has persevered. You be hard pressed to find Donnie's spot in the beard. But when it does, his goatee is always soaking in beard, trying to outsmart the broken heart that's soaking in tears, the gambler. Hoping he gets lucky this year. His life is one huge slot machine with nothing in it. Only an evil spirit that keeps snatching its winnings. Whispers, then listening from a distance. And when the coin clinking, it swallows it in an instant. Like a chameleon to a fly. He dreams of millions, but dies every time his daughter cries because she's hungry. Each to his own. We all asked for the money last night. I dreamt the slot machine spit $1 for Donnie. The struggle for lost souls. Caught in this rainstorm. Wishing they weren't born. I sit and listen because their life is a sad poem written with sharp thorns. And when they bleed, they walk on. They got swimming pools overflowing with Hennessy. And Tracy ain't had a bath for like a week. Listen, when she speaks, she was the homecoming queen, lost in a dream of catching the gleaming light that turned out to be a horror film. Instead of supermodel, she won a different lotto. And now she does a catwalk down a Listerine bottle. The blistering sores on her face, whispering alcohol and math. Blundering steps defy her lingering breath. Her high school tiara is the only evidence left of her former beauty. She carries it every place he has slept, plus the major accident that left her with a limp in a step. She's lost, barely clinging off that government check. If she'd never believed in words that filtered like a sieve into a dream of being the most beautiful the world had ever seen, then maybe she'll be more than just 5 aborted babies. I dreamt of a fashion magazine. On the cover was Tree. Thank you.
Oh, let's all unmute and give it up.
Yeah. Zomkhonto.
Hey, you're such a performer too, man. And that hair is gorgeous, bro. Like it's just
human. He doesn't miss.
Human. Hey, so
doesn't miss.
Doesn't miss.
Yeah. Hey, so we have a few people leaving, but Diane Ward said that if I put her next, she's gonna stay and read to us. So let's all give it up for Diane Ward.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to leave at 9, but I wanted to be able to read one more piece. It's not written by me. It's a book called I Bring This to Your Attention. It's because it's written by a father and son, and it's love letters to their wives. And I thought that was really intriguing that people would put together a book of love letters to their wives. It is published by Marissa Prada, Red and Green. And I just want to read this to you because I think it's a lovely piece to leave you with. How Much Do I Love Thee by A.D. Harris. You ask, how much love is in the words I speak? Is there enough to last 365 or just a few weeks? Is it enough to lift a mountain or just enough to cast a rock? Is there meaning behind the words you speak or just letters combined to make a common phrase? My answer. There is enough love within me that it will outlast 365. Not only will my love lift a mountain, it will cast it aside so that there is nothing standing between us. That last question I will not answer, not just yet. You ask, how much love in the actions I take? Is there enough love that I would paddle across the sea or just enough to cross over a creek? Is there enough to swim the ocean deep or just enough to go a few feet? Is there meaning behind the words you speak or just letters combined to make a common phrase? My answer. Although I may scream, I love you, my actions speak louder. There isn't a sea wide enough or an ocean deep enough to stop me from loving you. That last question I will answer, just not yet. You ask how much love of your love burns for me. Is there enough that when you see me, you can feel the heat, or just enough that a single flame dances to its own beat? Is it enough love that you will forever cherish me, or just enough that you can replace me? Is there meaning in the words you speak, or just letters combined to make a simple phrase? My answer, you are the only soul my heart burns for. Each time I see you, the flame only grows. To forever cherish you is only a small portion of what my heart wants to do. Is there meaning behind the words I speak? To you, my heart wouldn't let me speak any other way. You ask, how much love do you love me? My answer, my love for you will outlast eternity. Thank you.
So beautiful. Everybody, let's unmute real quick and give it up for Diane.
Diane,
Diane
has a
favorite
voice from
voices.
God. Diane has a voice
Diane
from
Ward,
God.
one of my favorite voices.
Because I can listen to you read the phone book. You did incredible.
Diane just, my respect for this woman.
No, all right.
Okay, Mattie.
Mattie, it's on you.
Okay, cool.
Let's give it up for Mattie.
Thanks. Okay, I have a really short one, and then I have another one after that. Is that okay? Cool. Okay, this one is called Incantation. Hair of a snake. Tomorrow you'll wake up tall with serendipity. I'm a pink monster. My scars dwell under. I'm a slow drown. Maybe one day soon you will smell lilac and bury the boy in a loud funeral without bagpipes. Good morning. Fellow child, keep your tiptoe. Walk backwards on your fingertips, dance to block party radio, flip off the cops, flip off the boys section clothing, burn the church, hair of snake, hiss, kiss me, boy or girl. All right, that's my first one. So this next one, so you know, with autism, we have our little special interests, and one thing I really love and care about is octopus. And so I have a series of poems that I'm like working on, and I have too many poems about octopus. So this is one of them. I love octopus because I think that they're like the perfect mascot for autism, but I will share that poem later about why they're the perfect
Octopus
mascot.
are my favorite animal. They are
Exactly.
so dope. I love them. They change shape. They change the skin texture. They're the best.
Two-thirds of their neurons are in their body and not their head. Like humans, 100% of our neurons are in our brain, and octopus, like it's their body is their brain, which is a lot like how I feel about autism. So, or my experience of autism. So, this is one of my many poems about octopus. The sea creature is plucked from the water, dissected by scientists as a means of understanding. The creature is so fascinating that a glass tank is built, and they charge a pretty penny to the public to tap the glass and photograph it up close. There is a direct correlation between the price of exotic pets and their survival rates in captivity. The more expensive, the less alive. This is why it's discouraged to buy exotic pets. We cannot force the animal to thrive in our own condition, but the octopus wants to explore. In the zoo, it costs a few hours of a paycheck to see what lives inside a cage. The octopus lives 2 years or 10. We don't know. The deeper the sea, the less we can see. The one we see in the glass box is expensive to keep alive. You can buy her for $50 in her tank and put her in a salt tank, and she will tear her arms off. One day in the zoo, it's found on the ground. The octopus, 50 feet from its 12 by 12 enclosure, playing with a school of fish a few tanks over. So a heavy top is built for her tank. The creature is put back in the box and kept inside by an iron grate. The octopus is found the next morning outside of its tank again. A latch is placed on the tank, like one you put on a cage for a puppy learning how to not piss on the carpet. The octopus wants to explore, wants to play. The octopus is a strange psychic. She somehow reads the mind, cracks the code, learns how to unlatch the latch to play again, or the octopus is smarter than the employee not getting paid enough for an entry fee to the zoo. Either way, she opens the latch, escapes again. She plays on the ground in the puddle mess. The zookeeper comes and puts the combination lock. She cannot figure the lock, the depths below. The pressure keeping her mind in place is relieved. Surviving on land is only surviving. The octopus rips off her arms when it's bored, when it's sick. The zoo psychologist says she is depressed. The octopus arms grow back again. She is placed on medication, dispersed through the water. She cannot unbreathe the captor's version of health. Her air is wet with chemicals. She rips off her arms again. At some point, they grow back. At some point, they stop growing back. The internal clock will ring. She cannot deny the bell tolling. It's time to create again. She lays 1,000 eggs. By genetic coding that cannot be undone, she lays 1,000 eggs. She will keep herself alive on as little food as possible, long enough for the eggs to hatch, and then she will die. And while she waits, she rips off her arms. They grow back. The zoo doctor comes to gather her in the thousands, what she's become, what she's here for. The story continues. She rips her arms off, but this time they don't grow back. 1,000 8-armed creatures born in a foreign tank, generational trauma, confirmation bias. In the thousands, the offspring speak. My mother knew 8 languages. My mother gave everything for me to live. In the thousands, they give up their arms, an offering to an unforgiving God in a strange land. No matter how much of yourself you give, your life is still worth just one ticket.
Yeah,
Wow,
Mattie.
powerful as always.
Oh, dude, the octopus.
Damn, Mattie. Woo! That
That's
last one,
crazy.
never,
That's
I think
incredible
that might
because
be a
in their
special
thousands they speak. That means thousands.
one
An
ticket.
octopus with so many hands, that's millions, essentially, in terms of
Yeah,
math. That's a different kind of
yeah.
math. Damn.
It's octopus math, man.
That's
Hey,
not what your life was worth. Come on. Come on.
right?
Like,
Yeah, it was great.
So let's all give it up for the Magus Gustav
Magus
Sallas.
revolutionary thousands of pounds.
go.
Hey, so this poem has not been performed in its entirety in over 15 years. Usually I know that many people will bring new shit for a feature, but this is the oldest of old shit, but I'm super proud of it. And here it goes. I was able to give George W. Bush enough LSD in his water bottle 45 minutes before he went on stage so that he had to tell the truth. This is the Mental State of the Union Address 2002. The U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 3, he shall from time to time give the Congress information of the state of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. I want Saddam out, alive or dead, with or without you, like you two said. We will deal with him. Sounds terse? Well, allow me to put it in blank verse. UN resolutions have failed to fix the problems. Ignorance is Blix and his weapons inspectors find nothing but my bullshit detectors. Rummy, Condi, Colin Rice. They say go to war, don't think twice. Saddam, he's a major league asshole. Agreed, turn Baghdad to charcoal. That's Cheney's plan. Listen to him, he's the man. He really does do most of my thinking. Keeps this ship of state from sinking. In times of trouble for the nation, we put Dick in a secure location. I love saying that. Yo, true that dog, his crib is fat. Dad taught me Saddam is bad, gassed his own people, must be mad. He's got wicked terrorist links, got no real proof, but something stinks. To the US, he's a threat. Oh, we'll kick his ass, no sweat. And don't say he don't know dick about weapons of mass destruction to make us sick. But Germany and whiny France begging, give Le Peace a chance. I think they're so damn insane, they misunderestimate my brain. Saddam tried to kill my dad, off we go to take Baghdad. Left, right, far, right, W's itching for a fight. Left, right, far, right, W's ready for a fight. Like the cowboy I am, I come at high noon. He gets his just desserts on a sand dune in the desert with nowhere to run, baking under the intense Iraqi sun. I'll turn Hussein to skull and bones, a new market for US-made tombstones. I'll do Saddam like Jack the Ripper. I'm as big a dipper as the Gipper. Like my budgets, I'm freestyling. I love oil and war so much I'm smiling. Bombs dropping like the Dow. We'll pay for it all. Don't ask how. Just look to your children, everyone. I love them all like I was Michael Jackson. Yeah, I'm a thriller. All that and a stone cold killer. A shout out to all of y'all who elected me by voting for Nader. Now do you see your hippie protests fall on deaf ears? Yo, peep my crocodile tears. How's that for compassion? March to war is now in fashion. Who's the world to diss my war? Cries for peace, I'll just ignore. That's the beauty of democracy. It applies to you, but not to me. Saddam is the real evildoer. We all know that, nothing's truer. Saddam's full of crap and his material breaches. It's time for me to be the one who teaches him a lesson, and it's no little push. Out of the way of Khalif Neil Bush. Weapons of mass destruction everywhere. Bomb sarin, VX, anthrax into thin air. Hey, take a deep breath. This will be a short war. Trust me, son. Go and think no more. Insecurity councils bitching about legality of me making Saddam a fatality. Sure, and lots of others too. What's the leader of the free world to do? To convince you there's nothing I won't try. So how's about this little lullaby? Don't you worry, don't you threat. We will win, yeah you bet. Just like I said we'd catch Osama. Trust me like you trust your mama. Mama never lied to you. Everything I say is true. Except Osama still makes tapes in hiding somewhere eating grapes. Planning another September 11th. The seal's been broken. It's the 7th. Then Armageddon out of here to a bomb shelter, never fear. For me, I will survive. President of those left alive. Between Iraq and a hard place. Friends and family gone, no trace. Hey, a president can make mistakes. Not that I did, but them's the breaks. So lay down for your sleepy time. Hypnotized by my rhyme. By the time you awaken, sweet, sweet war I'll be making. And oh, what a war it will be. It will make for great TV. Video warfare, state of the art. Come on, UN, just press start. You live in your world, play in mine. Like Street Fighter will break Saddam's spine. I get Grand Theft autoerotic about kicking an ass so despotic. In Mortal Kombat, just him and me, US military, my proxy. So sorry I cannot fight you mano a mano myself. I'm needed in the homeland to protect rich folks' wealth, power, oil, and SUVs. aphrodisiac disease. As war president, my hand is steady. So little folks, best be ready. By duct tape and plastic sheeting. Hurry up now, time is fleeting. That's a good one. Fear-based economy, my job is done. 100% employment in the USA. Everybody spying on each other for the NSA. Invest in this war, it won't be cheap. As you sow, so shall you reap. The whirlwind will blow you away while you're taking off your shoes for the TSA. For my re-election 2004, I must have unending war. Rose by Orwell, I'm Big Brother. Don't go crying to your mother. She's in Guantanamo Bay, an enemy combatant held at Camp X-Ray. She'll eat my words, but not go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. Our nation must come together to unite. This case has had full analyzation. It's time to fight. I don't think we need to get subliminal. Saddam's behavior is downright criminal. I know how hard it is to put food on your family. Sometimes my words get chewed. I spit them out without thinking. And this is me without the coke and drinking. Would you like a side order with your lies? How's about our freedom fries or a new world order of our freedom toast with a Texas-sized cup of our freedom roast? That's one down off the axis of evil. See no big deal, not much upheaval. Surely we have just cause. I am the great and powerful Oz. But ignore that man behind the curtain, lest your conscience starts to hurtin'. Think not at all of possible losses, nor of the profits of my big oil bosses. If terror threat alerts seem like guessworks, remember Saddam controls the terror networks using Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC. No, hold up, dog. Yo, that's me. And Tom Ridge in Homeland Insecurity with Ashcroft and Injustice to oversee the creation of a police state. 1, 2, 3. We distort, you decide to join in our genocide. In the Trashcroft with the Bill of Rights, total information awareness. Any of y'all could be Shiites. USA Patriot Act so we can FBI you. Tiny cameras in your CIA holes too. Bin Laden continues to elude. These pesky problems all intrude. Like a $5.2 trillion surplus I pissed away. A $500 billion deficit awaits your children today. And if I could just ignore the Dow, $4.2 trillion lost since my inauguration. Ow! I know things have been so great since I've been Oval Office depotentate. Not a lot about which we can brag. All of this has been quite a drag on W's popularity. Hey, that's me, so no hilarity. We'll have files on all of you, not just Arabs and the olive-skinned, liberals too. We'll know what you watch on TV. We'll intern you lefties soon. You'll see. You watch The West Wing. You think Sheen's the real thing? Charlie should have killed him in Apocalypse Now or in Hot Shots Part 2. Great film. And how? Well, we'll know all your crime think, just like that axis of evil dink. Kim Jong-un's got nuclear. The irony must seem peculiar. In fact, forget I said all that. It's complex stuff for a diplomat. Enjoy the weapons of mass distraction. Feel closer than ever to the action. Xbox, PlayStation, satellite dish. Don't pay attention. I get my wish. Lower taxes for Joe millionaires. The rest of you, well, who cares? Fight and die in a war for oil. Shuffle off this mortal coil. Mobilize our troops anon. X on and on and on and on. Their Gulf will Persian carpet bomb, so Texas cooperate against Saddam. Let's boldly go where we've gone before, marching blindly off to war. It is our duty. We must not shirk. Back to the future like Captain Kirk. We'll fight for ideals without debate. That's what made this country great. Regime change and the doctrine of prevention. Bipartisan, all-American. No dissension. We will lead a coalition of the willing. We cool like that, share in the killing. Shiite Sunnis and pesky Kurds, like the Afghanis, I'll give you words to build a nation from. After I've blown it to kingdom come. Projecting democracy any place around the world where US oil's flag can be unfurled. This is our holy crusade for which I'm sure you all have prayed. To Jesus Christ, he's so fly, unlike Mohammed, that other guy. Our God is so much greater. Allah's divine for a bomb crater. Islam, a bomb up your jihad. Man, I'm feeling mighty odd. I feel invulnerable. This war's inevitable. Me with Pinocchio's nose like Trent Lawton. I'm telling you all it's not, and you're buying it. Do you ever think I had such wit? Shh, I have a secret I must share. This is my true personal nightmare. You see, I'm out golfing with 41. That's my pa. We're some father and son. Now, the whole dream I won't belabor, but suddenly my drivers turned to a lightsaber and off came his head with a single whack. I mistook Dad for Hussein of Iraq. The severed head and the 41 ball cap rolled across the green into a sand trap. I ran to it. What did I see? I was staring back at me. Now, you can imagine my surprise at staring into my own eyes when suddenly Yoda, who's my caddy, is standing with me and the me who's my daddy. Yoda shakes his head when R2-D2 beeps. My alarm goes off and I have the creeps. Damn, it's another boring day. I never listen to a thing people say. But who like Yoda is much wiser? My national security advisor. She's educated so very nice. She's Dr. Condoleezza Rice, and she'll explain my nightmare. But she spoke of Freud, and I nodded as if I was aware. Then she's off on archetype and some young guy. And I want to understand her, and I really try to get a simple answer for a simple me, one that's not uncontradictory, just something clear and not so highfalutin. She's name dropping Joseph Campbell and Vladimir Putin with so much talk and so little grasping. The next thing she said left me gasping. Abel was killed by an angry Cain. She blew my mind like I was Kurt Cobain. She said that this was about Poppy, me, and brother Jeb. She lured me with her story to the center of her web. I'm president, and Jeb's just Florida governor, but I've always had the feeling Daddy liked him more. I feel like to Dad I'm some dumb fuck here thanks to Jeb in Florida and sheer blind luck. She said that this war was not about deterrence, but something totally different she called transference. I hate Saddam like the father I cannot please. My cognitive dissonance leads to y'all's unease. Thus, y'all be fighting in Baghdad so as to make peace with my dad. They're very ugly, Hussein and Osama, but I'm not afraid. Have you seen my mama? She hurt me, dog. She took it so far, she compared me to Lucifer, the morning star. Sure, I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven, and I am taking advantage of 9/11. Okay, I'm the deceiver of the whole world. I'm the tempter. I'm the new Satan, known as the Saddam preemptor, and I'll not be cast alone into y'all's lake of fire, turning and turning in your widening gyre. I'm uncomfortable with all this maledictory. Condi calls this fear of Pyrrhic victory. Now, what's that? Still lost in the passionate intensity of sin, she explains to me that even if you win this battle, I might still lose my war. What the fuck would you be fighting for if I don't win re-election? I think of that and, well, there goes my erection. This war almost makes war no fun. Will I get a second term when this war is won? Or will it end like for 41, the sins of the father revisited on the son? Pride cometh before the fall. So saddle up, lock and load. Next stop, Baghdad, y'all. The whore of Babylon soon will crumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Thank you. That's the last time I'm going to perform that.
Yeah. Hey, when did you write that?
2002.
2000. So 20 years later, all of that shit is still fucking relevant, which is kind of fucked. Yeah. Let's all right now give it up for the Magus Gustav Sallas.
That was great.
Yeah. Oh, Justin. Yo,
Yeah.
Justin. Really. All the way. Been waiting for that. Been waiting for all of that.
Bet. We chilled. This was one of the most incredible nights I think we had here at Open Minds, man. We had so many new faces, so many old faces. We had just an electrifying show. Like the Magus brought it, bro. He brought all of us together. Like, I'm looking forward to future events, man, and I'm looking forward to these next few poets here. So let's go ahead and finish off the round 2. Everybody, let's give it up for Elemental, the poet.
Appreciate y'all, man. For real. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Really. Appreciate that. This is something owed to one of the cats that has always inspired me and the people that have inspired me. This is Thinking of a Master Plan. Again, appreciate all y'all, every poet who came before me and after. Y'all are so completely and incredibly amazing. Like, I don't know if anyone's told you recently, but I love you, I appreciate you, and you're absolutely fucking phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, real quick, before I read this poem, I've heard there's things, right? And I just want to add to it. They said, it's not about what you know sometimes. It's about who you know, right? Not about what you know, but about who you know. But I heard an amendment to that, and I want to share that with you. It's also about who knows you. And I want you to know that I'm glad that I know the people in this room. This is Thinking of a Master Plan. Navigating through seas of noise that snap, crackle, bubble, and pop airwaves, I'm reminded of days when rhyme sayers became bricklayers to build paths to gas slingers that turned voices to wizardry on wax. Back to a future when thinking of a master plan was nothing but sweat inside my hand, conjuring hustles from lesson plans in a land where school was a place where time is wasted on long-winded lectures about oppressors. So we dig deep and find street prophets that rip topics and dialects of struggle carried in crate and rubble, melodic troublemakers with exquisite lyricism, reckless, faded, and full of music and voices loud enough to use it in 808 bass drops and Eric B production. I was a fiend before I became a teen, melting microphones instead of cones of ice cream, finding home in recording spaces, lines laced with hieroglyphics like graffiti on walls made of graffiti, transform tragedy into works of art, part and parcel to vibrant dreams where everything is a canvas, bursting with purpose to breathe in color and exhale expression of a king's paradise, strong as Luke Cage, such a rage up in Harlem, singing karma psalms in 16-bar intervals, pivotal in paving pathways for masters of ceremonies, clairvoyant 18th letter with incredible techniques and lyrics of fury, with Punisher punchlines, laying mics to rest, performing analog to digital magic as a true lyrical alchemist. Peace to the one and only Rakim.
Oh,
that was awesome. Thank you.
My boy.
Oh, you had to give it to Ra. You had to give it to the Ra. Oh,
I mean, hey, listen, my generation, man, as long as that cat is still alive, man, that's the dopest cat alive.
Yeah.
As long as that cat is still breathing. Just saying.
And up next, we have, I see she's still here. We have the beautiful Phynn Belle.
I think I want to tell you a story. I haven't quite decided yet what it's going to be about. I feel like it's going to start with something that I thought about before I closed my eyes last night, or the first idea that skimmed above the fog of my brain as I struggled awake this morning. I already know I'll begin to forget about it as it poised to eject from my tongue, because I read in an article today, and did you hear this deliciously wicked play on words? And did you know that a gathering of leopards is a leap? I didn't know that before, hindi ko dati, but now I do ngayon. And I can as easily slip back into the previous topic as lightly as I possibly could not. And maybe we can talk about something else instead. Am I talking too much or too little? I'm usually mum, choosing my words carefully, but when I am excited about something, when I find you comforting and familiar, I tend to talk at length, talk in curved sentences that make invisible curlicues in the space between us, talk in borrowed film noir voices, talk as if our conversation suddenly became a scene in my favorite musical. I think I remembered what I initially wanted to share with you. A story that placed me, painfully shy and always migrating, at the front of the classroom and told by frowning teachers to speak up. A story that reminded me that smiles were lips closed, that front teeth bared bore testament to lisp, and that wasn't pretty, and odd wasn't pretty, and that Ching Chong girls shouldn't be mouthing the lines of a Calgon girl commercial. Ancient Chinese secrets. And superimposed sing-song, and how they dare instead sound more like the sainted Scarlett O'Hara. I think the story might have went like, speak up to the California girl Opie who couldn't yell out the last four of her social to satisfy barking, hurting, terrifying army drill sergeants. Are you a Valley Girl soldier? Yes, drill sergeant. I mean, no, drill sergeant. I think the story might have went from speak up to speak dirty, because bucket lists cannot be ticked off unless you have a Minnie Mouse or Snow White tell you exactly what decadent things they were going to do to you as they immobilized you helpless between their thighs. I think speak dirty broke stupid, unspoken rules, broke the Disney princess as she awoke from the nightmare, creeping halfway down the tower on that ridiculous hair, broke the spell for her. There is no happily ever after, only blue-eyed expectations and fair-skinned typecasts waiting in the castle's dungeon. I think the story now says that I have something to say. And if you want to hear it, be quiet and listen. You might want to lean in closer for this one.
Yo, Phynn, every time, every fucking time.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
That's not okay.
That's not okay. You leave us on that anticipation. That's not okay. All right. Now I gotta find out where I can plug into the next damn episode. I don't appreciate that. That was
right. Yo.
Cliffhanger.
Oh God.
Thank you. She came as a participant too. She's like, nah, I'm not gonna spit. I ain't got time. But she's like, all right, maybe I'll spit one or two. And it just blew all of our minds, bro. Like, girl, thank you so much for coming out, Phynn. We love you. We love you, Phynn. Everyone here right now, honestly, we love you. And we
I love you folks too. I do. I honestly do. You guys are just so genuine, and I can't abide anything but genuine right now.
Hey, because we're poets, man. We can't lie. We say what's on our mind and in our hearts. Exactly. And we can all tell you right now, honestly, that we absolutely just love you and adore you. And so next up, we're gonna have Zomkhonto, Abe, from one Canadian, from one immigrant Canadian to another, eh?
All right.
I know you got some more for us, bro. Like, I want to
Okay.
hear what you got, dude. You so
All
good,
right.
man.
Okay. All right. I love your face illuminated by candle. And every nighttime can't handle your shadow. I love to sit and marvel at the trouble that it took to create. Because you're not just beautiful. I've always wanted to shake the hand that made you. But since I met you, I found the spirit to connect to. I'd fight to the death. The death came to collect you. Because I would rather lose my breath. Since I met you, I love you, and any other emotion will be painful. It's like we both graduated from the same school, but no degree of separation will ever take you away from my imagination. I'm constantly waiting to come back home and taste the beautiful treat you were baking. At first, I thought that you were taken, and I was shaking because I was ready to commit adultery in a second. Couldn't believe the goddess that I just met with. God is the greatest artist, and you are her best painting. Let's take a walk through the forest that is hidden. We can share great stories underneath candlelight. I was afraid for a moment, but this feeling is right. For the right price, we can buy a ray of sunlight. I love the fact that we attract a small crowd when we're walking hand in hand. I don't care, because I understand. Only if I had a magic wand, then I would extend photocopies of your touch for the lonely, because they die when you hold me. I love it when you scold me. I was an unwritten letter till you opened the envelope and dared to unfold me with your immaculate hand. This is what you wrote me. With your blood as the ink, you said, I'm your one and only. Then you wrote the number to your secret and said, call me. You never put me on hold. It rang once and you talked to me. Your voice to me was like 1,000 angels singing constantly to create the soundtrack for our feet. When you walk with me, I'll give you my last heartbeat consciously. I know that you would never cheat on me if there was more of me. Your smile comes with a lifetime warranty. You arrested me and I refuse to seek amnesty. Let's take a walk through that forest that is hidden inside. We can share great stories underneath candlelight. I was afraid for a moment, but this feeling is right. For the right price, we can buy a ray of sunlight. I love the fact that you could never be caught dead faking the intensity that possesses your eyes when you awake. I've lost touch of the several photographs taken because even in silence, it's like you making a statement. We live on an island of our very own making. Walk the beach naked. Two divine shellfish. You my greatest fetish, and I'm just being selfish when I say my greatest wish is to put a leash on your ex. I'm tired of living on the fence when romance is the question posed to me. With you, I feel I won the lottery, and I'm not cashing this ticket until you visit and corner me into sharing forever this life of luxury. Thank you.
Yo,
What a journey.
let's all unmute real quick.
That was like
Zomkhonto.
Yo, brilliant.
Hey,
Much
yo,
respect,
that was
much respect.
amazing
One
and
love
beautiful.
for the love, and thank you all for your poetry as well. I appreciate it. Much
Next on the
respect,
mic,
much
we got
respect.
Kristi
One love, one
Scribbles.
love,
So
one.
let's all give it up for Kristi Scribbles right here.
I just jumped in to say hi, but I will spit a piece. How are you guys doing? We're out there at the campfire. I'm like, I want to check and see what's going on.
Yeah, we got you in.
Okay, let's see what comes up. Just gonna pick one and go, I guess. Okay, this one is Saved by the Word. They were supposed to be a hobby, a way to express, a way to find the way through to the healing path, the way of the steady and out of the darkness, but in the midst of the healing, in the midst of the everything. The passion popped in and up and out, and a new way of life found me, and poetry, it became me. It became my soul. It surged through me, through to the core of me, who I am on the up and the depths of deep. It became who I want to be, who I want to be with, how I want to exist in this world. In the world of where people use their words to heal their souls and find their voices and find themselves inside of verse, see themselves because of words and express themselves inside of heart. These are my people. These are my thoughts. These are my words, the words of my channel, directed by Creator, directly from source, channeled through me from the higher soul of me, allowing me the space to collect my thoughts, spinning around inside my head, confusing, depleting, battling, justicing the thoughts that used to haunt me, now free me as they sit here on page and inside of my prose, the prose of my poetry and the proof of existence itself. These words are my soul, are my source, are my reason for being. For the words evoke lightning and clap thunder and destroy those voices. The doubting ones, the diligent ones, the degrading ones that always try to corrupt and pull me away from understanding. The understanding and the meaning of the words that were given are given to me as I write, as I sit here tonight speaking them here, the words divinely given, and that much is clear. For the clarity they bring is the way through all of the haze. They bring forth the me I have searched for always. They bring forth the promise of change and of peace. These words meant for you from the soul that is me. Thank you. I love that you guys are still going.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Kristi, your energy, your energy is just so infectious. Oh,
Whole other shit
yeah.
going on, but I'm gonna jump in here and rip this
Yeah.
mic real quick for y'all.
What?
Burn it down. Go take it back to the
Kristi
campfire.
Scribbles,
Go.
what it is. Yeah.